What's going on, guys? It's me, AJ Hero, and today we're going to be talking about how I think is a good way to approach making friends. I want to talk about the ways that making friends as somebody who was undiagnosed ADHD sort of came across to me, like sort of what masking was to me back then, and sort of what I did to get over that sort of stuff. What I learned through those experiences. Hopefully, this can help somebody. Maybe you're going through college, maybe you're going through high school, maybe you're going through middle school, and you still catch yourself. Maybe even you're an adult and you still catch yourself doing some of these things that prevent you from making friends and really genuinely connecting with people because you might be scared of who you actually are, or you might be scared that who you are isn't appealing to other people. So, these are some of the tools and techniques that I remember doing, and some of the things that I remember happening to me as I went through my experience trying to make friends as somebody who's unknowingly neurodivergent, right? So first of all, something I caught myself doing was mimicking how people speak. So mimicking how people speak to me makes me feel closer to them, but the other person kind of might find it kind of weird. So what I did to get around this, and I figured this out pretty early on, like when I was in like first grade, that you shouldn't just mimic how people speak. Sometimes they think you're mocking them or whatever, and I was just like, you know what? I don't even want to do that. So I took it on as like a creative endeavor to find my own way of saying things. So instead of mimicking one person, I would take something from this person, take something from this person, take something from this person, and then form it all together to sort of make how I talk. And I think I had to do that on purpose. I think a lot of people that happens naturally with, but I had to do that like literally on purpose to make sure that I didn't just copy somebody. I would take little things here and there, like whatever I liked, phrases and stuff, but my speech is essentially a collection of words and phrases and tones and things all wrapped in together that are taken from people that either I thought were funny or that I thought were interesting, and I just kind of made that the way I speak. So that's how I speak right now. And I didn't do it necessarily like, oh, I'm gonna do this to be funny. I just was like, this is funny. I'm gonna speak like that. I think that's natural, but like now it's my own thing. I don't know. This is kind of a tangent, but essentially, basically, I think it's important to take inspiration from the way that people speak. If you can't find your own way of speaking or you're worried about speaking a certain way, just take a bunch of things from different people and mash them together to create your own new way of speaking. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that's honestly a tip, and I think it's a tip that only people with ADHD will understand, to the fullest, because the whole copying how people speak thing, only we understand how naturally that comes, how easily we do that, so I'm just, if you're not ADHD, I'm sorry that it just doesn't apply to you. I apologize. It might apply to you even if you weren't officially diagnosed, which is why undiagnosed is everywhere. So but that's the first step. I think how you talk and how you leads into how you socialize. So the second part, how you're socializing with people and how you're connecting with them. I think a lot of things that is beneficial for somebody with ADHD is that we have a lot of interests and we go deep into a lot of interests, which makes it easy for us to find something that the other person likes talking about, and we have just enough knowledge on that topic because of that one deep dive session that we did to presume or seem like we know a lot about, or a marginal amount about a topic, right? But we're always willing to learn more. So then the genuine curiosity mixed with that previous interest allows us to connect with people. But here's the thing, that only works the first time. You can't just repeat that process. We can connect with people pretty easily, but in order to maintain connections, the best way to do that is to have some sort of regular habitual event or task that you do with friends in person. Now you can talk with people online and have online friends and swap the in person for like events online on Discord, but regular events where you constantly play video games with people, constantly are doing things with people. If you don't have this sort of thing with the friends in your life, you will not be able to maintain friendships and socialize to the point where you can continue connections. Okay. Now, this is just advice. It may sound a little harsh and maybe a little blunt and crass, but the honest truth is, like, I'm just trying to basically prevent people from making the same mistakes that I did. So, the mistakes I did was not putting effort into, like, really sitting down and say, I want to play games with this person. I want to genuinely try to let this person know, like, I really want to be friends with them, rather than just assuming if they really wanted to be friends with me, then they would like come reach out to me or whatever automatically. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, everyone's got their own, where they think they're the main character of their universe, and we don't have perspective until we're like older. But we eventually get that perspective, and I don't think there's any harm with sharing the perspective that I've gotten through the mistakes that I've made with people here who may have yet to make the mistake, or have made the mistake and can relate, or maybe don't want to make the mistake in the future, but haven't figured out just how to go about it. But yeah, so for the socializing, definitely try to engage yourself in events, in games, and whatever you're interested in, and engage yourself in activities that have to do with where your friend is. Find that whatever thing you're interested in and actively pursue doing that thing with them. Trust me, and if in person if you can. Trust me, this is how you maintain friendships. Currently, right now, I play Magic a couple every like not every week, but a lot of times or a lot of weeks, like once a week, with these two peeps, and it's been really building it like a friendship slowly but surely. Like we already had a friendship, but it's like deepening because the more we play Magic, the more we talk about random stuff, the more we just chill. You know what I'm saying? It just creates that familiarity, and that's how you like continue and further connections. So this is like based on stuff that I've already learned. Aside from that, when it comes to furthering connections, this is about how to make friends, right? We'll do a relationship video at a different time, but for friends, I actually think another really important skill to have is knowing when to give up. I think people with ADHD, not even I think, I'm pretty sure this is one of the symptoms. We have serious rejection sensitivity, and rejection sensitivity is really, really serious, really, really serious because we like to prove whatever we got rejected by that it was wrong to reject us. So we either do this by going out and doing something that we think that the other person will notice, or we'll try our hardest to get that thing anyway because it's like a big challenge that we were unable to solve, right? So the problem with this is that we waste so much time and energy on this challenge that is really, really hard to solve, which is getting someone who doesn't want you, right? That's exactly what we're attracted to. We like the novelty, the challenge of getting somebody who doesn't want you, but we have a problem sticking too hard and too fierce to these challenges. And I genuinely believe if we're able to let go of people that don't want us a lot faster, that will allow us to get to the people who do want us way faster, because the novelty shouldn't actually be in trying to crack something that's uncrackable. It should be in trying to meet as many new people as possible. That's also more fun. It's also less risky. It's also just more interesting, and you learn more. So that's a better alternative than trying to crack an uncrackable secret. So honestly, learn when to let go. Learn when somebody doesn't like you. That's something I took a long time to learn how to do. When somebody doesn't like you like that, let them go. It's cool. It's cool. The novelty is in meeting other people, just meeting new people until you find that one person who you really, really click with, and then you click with them, you hang out with them, all the time. So I genuinely think these are the best ways to, and that works for relation. I know that was relationship kind of coded, but I honestly think that's friendship coded too. Like it's rooted in friendships because there are people who just don't vibe with you and don't want to vibe with you, and we still try to crack that code. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't crack the code. Let it go. That's okay. Meet new people. That's friendship. And there's a more complicated version if we delve into the relationship side of things. So in the next video or in a video later, we'll be talking about that. But yeah, until then, it's been AJ Hero. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoy these type of videos, I would love some feedback in the comments. Down to answer any questions. Any questions you have for me, leave them down below. I'll get to them as soon as possible. It's been AJ Hero, and peace.